Coming into the new season, it didn't appear the Churchville-Chili Saints had much going for them on the soccer field. Their top scorer, Marko Matrevsky, graduated, and there was no heir apparent. And their senior goalkeeper was coming off the most difficult year of his life. Last fall, Alex Vogelweed was diagnosed with leukemia. He underwent a bone marrow transplant and chemotherapy. Coming back to play just a year later appeared out of the question.
I didn't honestly think I would be back at soccer just because I went from like almost 8-9 months without doing any physical activity to getting back out here and running around again, so it shocked me.
And I wasn't even sure if he'd be in net ever again, just knowing what he went through. He went through so much last year. So when he got there, you could see it. You could see little pieces. He was reading the game well, but he was laid off his line. He was, he took 14 months off and lost so much weight in that offseason. So his strength wasn't there, his timing wasn't there. Well, we lost our first 2 scrimmages, and in those scrimmages we had a lot of goals scored on us. And some of it was Alex with timing, and some of it was our team we changed some things around after that. But every day, Alex has gotten better and better and better.
Yeah, captain's practice were interesting because I was really out of shape, so just every little run I would make, I would be huffing and puffing, but after a while it started coming back to me.
Vogelweed's return to health is paying dividends past his play in the nets.
Last year they all dyed their hair bleach blonde, and I couldn't tell who was who, honestly. For the first month of the season, until we put numbers on, I didn't know who was who. So they were with him all along, so they went through it. It wasn't just Alex going through it. They were with him, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle for them emotionally. It was a struggle for them all watching him, a friend of theirs, someone they love, go through that. So yes, that has helped because on the field you see it. They play for each other.
The quick turnaround was crazy. Like last year at tryouts, he was diagnosed and he's been going through treatments this whole time. And then coming back to captain's practices and he's already ready to go is unbelievable.
Is having a guy like that on the team that's been through what he's been through make you push at what you're doing a little harder?
Yeah, I mean, having a player like that makes you realize everything that you have could be taken from you in a second. So, I mean, it just pushes you to take every moment.
Inside the other 18, there was still the matter of who was going to put the ball in the net.
I knew we'd be good from the 18 to the 18. But with Alex returning from everything he went through last year, I wasn't sure how he'd look, or so I wasn't sure about our goalie situation, and I wasn't sure who would score goals for us this year. So I knew we'd be a good team. I knew we'd be able to control the ball in the midfield. We have some really dynamic, quality midfielders. But I was unsure about the other stuff, and obviously those questions have been answered in a lot of different ways.
The answer as to who would score was everyone. For their first 7 games, the Saints had 11 different goal scorers, none of whom appear among the league leaders.
At first, during our first 2 scrimmages, we had trouble with that, and by the time of our first game, we adjusted so that we were putting a lot in the back of the net, and everyone's scoring, so it's great.
Times when you have the one guy and your team with the big ego and ends up you guys don't play possession as much, people are taking more shots, and it just becomes less of a team sport.
A 7-0 start speaks for itself. At Churchville this year, they didn't reinvent the game, but they are playing it a little differently.
I told the guys, I don't think we have a guy on the roster that's going to score 15 or 20 goals. I said, but I really honestly believe that we have 6 or 7 or 8 guys who could score 6 or 7 or 8 goals, each of them. And if we did that, we could be really good. And as it turns out, it's happened through the first 6 games. We have 9 different goal scorers on 16 goals and 8 or 9 different guys chipping in assists, so everybody's doing it.